Welcome to Sales Intelligence to Win Future Infrastructure Projects. We're glad to have you here today. We have a few housekeeping notes before we get started. So Ahmed, perfect. So first off, please, if you have any questions throughout this presentation, please post them in the questions. We'll either in the chat, we'll either answer them live or we'll follow up with you if that makes more sense, if that's what's required. The recording will be available. I have the honor of introducing today's speaker, which is Ahmed Badruddin, our CEO of Citylitics. He is a pioneer in the use of data and AI for the infrastructure markets. He is a proud father, just ask him. But more importantly, if you're a soccer fan, you can make a huge friend by talking soccer/football with Ahmed. So today we're going to walk through just a quick introduction of who Citylitics are, just so that everyone is on the same page. We're going to do a demo of our platform. We're going to look at a couple case studies and how people use the early sales intelligence. We'll look at some workflows and then our evaluation criteria for what you're looking for. Not evaluation of us, but evaluation criteria of what you should be considering looking at some of these early stage intelligence platforms. So again, there will be live questions at the end if you want to actually ask your question live or stick it in the chat. So without any further ado, Ahmed, take it away.
Thank you, Angie, and thank you everyone who's joining today to learn a little bit more about Citylitics. I started the company about 10 years ago before data and artificial intelligence were trendy. And just to share a little bit about the origin story, it started off by going to some trade shows within public infrastructure and talking to business development and sales leaders in these industries. And the common challenge that I heard from them was just the need to influence RFPs. They all talked about how finding out about something in RFP stage is too late. I need to be able to get in earlier. I want to be able to influence these RFPs. And most of this work was already being done through what I would call human networks. So trade shows, travels, relationships, channel partners, rep firms, direct outreach. But we as Citylitics essentially found a different way. What we realized was that cities and utilities and agencies and customers here in this case, they publish mountains and mountains of data buried in millions and millions of public documents and tens of thousands of different sources. But within all of that, there are a lot of early signals of future infrastructure projects. And so we built the technology and the business model to take that concept into reality. And so fast forward today, we're a team of over 50 employees, over 100 customers within public infrastructure, ranging from some of the largest and fastest growing companies in this space. Our customers span manufacturers, construction, engineering companies, and within verticals, we do water, anything to do with transportation or transit and municipal broadband. And some of the value we bring to our customers, really helping them power their data-driven sales advantage, helping them identify RFPs at the earliest stages that they can engage with cities, help them strengthen their sales pipeline through richer sales intelligence that allows them to better prioritize their sales activity, gaining deeper context into their customers and prospects' needs so they can deepen customer relationships. And also when they have strategic growth initiatives and they are looking for some data to really speed it up, there's some products we have there that help them uncover high-value targeted leads. So all in, we've got offices in the US and Canada, and our whole goal is really providing the best possible sales intelligence on what we call future infrastructure projects. And the type of we've privileged to have thousands of salespeople, business development professionals in these industries using our platform actively. And the common things that we hear from them in terms of why they come to us. One is they want to influence the RFP. Secondly, they want to grow their sales pipeline, but the current means are too costly or take too long. Thirdly, oftentimes companies might be strong in a certain geographic area, or they might be strong within a certain install base. But if they're trying to grow into new customer bases or they're trying to grow into new geographies, they might not have the same brand awareness and relationships and reputation. So they're looking for ways to short circuit that growth. But also from a sales efficiency perspective, oftentimes sales teams are just spending too much time going through bid documents, going through capital improvement plan documents, public council meeting minutes to look for opportunities and insights. And that's time we believe that we should give back to salespeople so they can focus on relationships and driving growth for their companies. And sales and business development teams are pretty stretched thin, especially these days, inundated with RFPs and inquiries, and that really makes it hard to focus on the right opportunities to truly drive revenue growth forward. And so there's just a ability for data to help them better prioritize. And one thing that I should clarify about Citylitics is we don't track RFPs at all. The 0 RFPs on our platform. And there are many good platforms out there that track bids and RFPs, but where we found a gap in the market was the ability to surface earlier intelligence, early signals of future RFPs. And that's what all of our customers wanted us to see, because that's where they wanted to engage with. And so when you think about the life cycle of how a city goes to RFP, usually starts with some kind of infrastructure need, or they're having some discussions. Maybe it's a council meeting discussion that says, hey, I've got to upgrade my water plant, or, we've got to repair our roads, or, build a new facility. And then feasibility and assessments, where they're trying to understand what it would take to solve this infrastructure need. And then this is a stage where they often do studies as well. Then pre-design, where they're getting some early design or early solutioning and early estimates for how much the project would cost. And then it goes to financing, where whether it's the bond market or rate case or loans or grants to get the funding needed to secure to do the project. And then it goes to RFP. So our focus is on step 1 to 4. And that's where our customers really find value within Citylitics platform. And, as I mentioned before, there's so much information out there. We're tracking over 30,000 cities, utilities, agencies, which we're pretty confident is the most complete list of any infrastructure owner with a website and public documents. And when you think about all the different types of documents they have, from meeting minutes, budgets, planning documents, permitting documents, quality reports, improvement plans, in aggregate, is billions of documents. On a monthly basis, it's millions of new documents that get published. And so that's the amount of information that we work with. And we did this exercise just for fun, but we looked at what would it take to just read all the documents that cities and utilities across US and Canada generate every week. And it would take a person 127 years to go through all that data, because of just the amount of information out there. And oftentimes, these documents are large, 600, 800-page documents also. So they're not the easiest documents to read through. And so obviously, no one has that kind of time, and we need to rely on technology to solve for this. And we built up a sophisticated technology and system to harness all this information and extract high-value sales intelligence for our customers. And we'd like to explain it in 4 steps in terms of how it works. Our first step we call aggregation, where twice a month we have a proprietary data ingestion technology. It's pulling any new public document generated from cities and utilities, which is millions every week. And we store that in our data warehouse, because oftentimes cities take that document down, and we want to have all that repository and archive. Then we've got technology that categorizes the type of data or document it is. So for example, is it a meeting minute? Is it a capital plan? Is it an old document, a new document? Then we have an extraction phase, which is we built what we call data pipelines that are designed to look for early signals of opportunities based on our customers' needs. So it's much more nuanced than a keyword search, because that can get noisy. Like if you just search broadband or public transit or water main breaks, you get a lot of hits. And we designed our technology to look for intent where there's a discussion going on about a future project, and that's what we do from a technology perspective. But obviously, a lot of our customers have very nuanced requirements, and I'll show some examples in a few slides later. And so while technology does all the heavy lifting, we also have a team of analysts that understand the industry, that really make sure all the results and insights and data that gets uploaded to our customers' accounts are properly QA'd. so our customers get maximum value, and also spend the least amount of time triaging or vetting, because that's the other thing we hear from sales team. They don't want to go through hundreds of results to find opportunity. They really want a short list that's quicker to action, so they can save time. And that's what we designed our platform around. And so we've learned from, let's say, hundreds of different types of customers. So they range by type of business they are, whether manufacturer, supplier, construction, design, engineering, by vertical, water, transportation, broadband, but also by size. Some of them are global multinationals. Some of them are regional leaders where they're very strong in certain states or regions. Some of them are niche specialists where there's a very specific type of problem they solve for cities, but they're location agnostic. And our whole approach is not a cookie cutter database for everyone to log in. So we actually, what's one thing that's unique about our model is our first step is to understand what data and insights do our customers need. And then every customer gets a custom feed and dashboard based on their requirements. Because there's a lot of data out there and we don't want to overwhelm them. We want them to get a maximum value. And so we stand up unique data dashboards per customer. But, data alone isn't enough. We recognize that that's just the start. And something that we spent a lot of time refining and building over the years is just the journey from data to sales pipeline growth, as we like to call it. We see our role as provide the right type of data to our customers, the type of insights they're looking for, the right timing too. Some customers want to get in super early, 5 years before the RFP. Some want to get in when an engineer has been awarded. Some want to get in when, there's some financial, call it estimates of what the project will be. So every customer has a slightly unique sales strategy. And so our focus is really to understand what that is and give them the right data they're looking for. So there's type, there's timing, size as well, sometimes by size of the city, size of the project, and also the right context that allows them to break in and to go in and approach this opportunity. And so the immediate value or benefits that customers see is that they start to see enhanced sales knowledge and activity. So they start hearing about opportunities they didn't know about. They're able to engage with cities much before that RFP stage. They're able to get their sales team to save a lot of time. They start refining their strategy based on they're seeing. They deepen customer relationships and overall better prioritize. And then over time, as those conversations our customers are having turn into opportunities, turn into contracts and proposals and new project wins, customers do start seeing some incredible ROI, just because oftentimes their customers are going after large projects. So, it could be $1 million, it could be $500,000, but their win rate goes up too because they're engaged earlier, rather than if they're just hearing about the RFP stage, their win rate is much lower. And so they're able to see some very compelling ROI in terms of how much sales pipeline they generate, in terms of how much closes. So just sharing a few examples, like we had an equipment manufacturer in broadband, got a 59x ROI, $12 million in closes, almost 150 million in pipeline. Equipment manufacturer in wastewater, 170 million in sales pipeline, 10 million in closes. A construction company got $5 million in new projects. A design engineering firm within the first year got a $2 million project, 8x ROI. So the value realization obviously relies on their sales cycle. If it's a year, if it's 2 years or 3 years, and oftentimes for customers, it is 2 to 3 years or longer. But we keep tracking those interim metrics all the way till close, so we can continue to show our customers ROI, continue to keep delivering value to them. So I want to shift a little bit more to our products and quick demos also. And there's two products that I want to share with you all today. One is our intelligence reports, intelligence feeds product, which is really the main one that's designed for identifying early stage signals of future infrastructure projects, where we're mining public documents, public discussions to look for early stage indicators. I'm just going to shift over to the demo. And this is a demo account. So obviously it's not, full or complete, or may not be fully relevant to exactly what you're looking for. I've got the drinking water example, but we've got a few other types of examples of demos. But I just want to give you a bit of a feel for the product. So starting with a dashboard view where customers can break down opportunities by type of opportunity. They can do it by region, where they can filter by various different regions in the US and Canada. I'll get into this a little bit more, but you can filter by who the opportunity is assigned to, what kind of feedback the salesperson has shared about the opportunity. If they've shared opportunities to their reps channels, that's something they can do through the platform, and we can track. We also have an automated way to connect with customer CRMs. So customers can take some of our insights and connect them to CRM, and they're able to filter there. Industry level filters. So this is the high level view. And then when you go to kind of each of our insights, think of it as that your feed of intelligence. And so anything that matches our customers' signals that they're looking for, they will see it here. And this gets customized per customer. So let's say I wanted to go to this example, City of Atlantic City, New Jersey, a permanent solution for PFAS. They're looking for funding. A salesperson can click on it. Some of the functionality we provide them is ability to give us feedback, like, dislike, bullseye. It just helps us understand this is the kind of information they're looking for. If they're going to action it, add to action, or they want to monitor, add to future list, they can we extract the specific paragraph right from the council meeting minute. So, which is a big time saver for our customers. They love this feature because now, rather than having to go through a 600-page document, they get exactly what they're looking for here, and they can still go click and go to the actual public document where this information came from to get more details. We fine-tune the context based on the contact level customers are going after. If they got some value, they can also see I made contact, I had a meeting and whatnot. It just allows very quick ways for us to continue to track value. So this is what the salesperson would view. And again, we do it across industries. So this is drinking water, but we've got similar demos and examples for various other public infrastructure verticals. So that is one quick demo that I wanted to highlight for you all around the intelligence product. The second one is our capital projects dashboard. So this came from a need a lot of our customers had, where they were manually going through capital improvement plans to look for projects to pursue, or to better understand what is a city planning to do with infrastructure over the next few years. And so we thought about, hey, what if we aggregated every single CIP from every single city into a single dashboard, and then our customers can slice and dice that data. They can do bottoms up sales forecasting, they can do account planning, they can do market analysis, they can shortlist accounts for targeted business development. So that was really the motivation behind this product, and I'll launch into a quick demo of the capital improvement capital projects dashboard. So again, this is a demo count, so just showing about 3,000 CIPs, but our customers can filter by industry, by location, by project keywords, or specific words that they're really looking at, they want to filter by. And what this dashboard has is we've aggregated all the project line items from all CIPs across US and Canada. And wherever fields are available, justification, project start dates, project status, and down to like the page in the capital improvement plan, where customers can go and click there and go right to that page. And also by year, so customers can filter, hey, okay, in 2025, what are the top 10 projects happening within roads or stormwater, as an example. And that's the kind of insight that they can get through this dashboard. Lecture webinar. So from a functionality perspective, I wanted to highlight those two products. I wanted to share a few case studies too of very specific customer examples of what their situation was and what value they got. And on our website, we have customer videos of testimonials as well, where customers kind of speak to exactly the value they got. But I thought a few that would be interesting to share here for this audience. So we have one of our customers, they're an innovative mobility systems provider. So they're looking for cities and municipalities, but they've got very nuanced criteria around intelligent traffic management, road traffic services, AI-based traffic planning software, a bandwidth constrained team, of 10 sales rep. They didn't have a CRM in place as well, so they're using spreadsheets to manage their sales pipeline. And so how we solve for it is on our intelligence feeds product, we have a functionality called priority feed, where we can configure it to super nuanced criteria. And that was a time saver for their sales team because they can go very deep into very specific criteria. We used the Citylitics feedback functionality that I shared around tracking active action list, tracking log progress to help generate ROI trackers. So the more the salespeople use it, the more we're able to show ROI. Their sales leader also reviewed insights and assigned to sales reps, so the person was very involved, which was really helped us drive adoption. And we had a feedback loop with them every month. So every month we would review, okay, what did we see in terms of insights, any activity in terms of new opportunities, what worked, what didn't work, how can we improve it for the following month. And so we made it a very dynamic feedback loop, and this is pretty ubiquitous across all of our customers, because we realized that the more fine-tuned and the more aligned on point we can get our data to our customers' need, the more valuable they're going to get, value they're going to see, and the more likely they are to continue to use Citylitics. So this particular customer, within 3 years, got $12 million in closes and $140 million in sales pipeline that we generated. Again, it's metrics that we track every month, and through our platform, through our customers' CRM, we're available. But they also were able to get what they're looking for in terms of increasing opportunity influence, which was their main business goal, and getting more visibility into areas that they were not seeing enough opportunities. So key things we learned was when there are nuanced criteria, a tight feedback loop is very necessary. Having a leader within the customer that's driving Citylitics adoption was also pretty critical. But also standardizing how to reach out to cities from Citylitics Insight was really helpful to maximize success rate. So they're able to generate these opportunities through the data we're providing them. Another case study, an underground infrastructure construction firm. So they were looking for cities and municipalities and had very nuanced criteria around pipe size, diameter, and material, and also distance from offices and facilities. And one of their primary drivers also was they wanted to shift the sales team culture from responding to RFPs to influencing RFPs. And so similar to the last case study, we relied on our priority feed functionality to configure to their super nuanced requirements, a dedicated customer success manager to help drive user adoption. This customer had an inside sales team that qualified it before assigning to their external salespeople. So that was a very helpful way to save time. And we kept the feedback loop, continue to hear feedback, continue to refine every month. And so obviously with long multi-year sales cycles, it took 3 years, but then we got to $10 million in project closes. And over the course of those 3 years, generated $200 million in sales pipeline. A lot of it we expect to close in the next few years. But most importantly, the culture change they were hoping to get, they were able to see through their sales team becoming more proactive. A couple learnings. One was start small and get some quick wins to drive adoption, because sales teams can see what's working, what's not working. And that was a great way to get it going. And the importance of measuring interim wins because of long sales cycles to show that we're on track to generate growth here. And then a final case study, a regional design engineering firm. So they were looking for agencies with significant infrastructure needs before they've engaged an engineer. And like a lot of design engineering firms, they have a seller-doer model. So that means bandwidth for business development is very tight. And historically, most of the revenue came from existing customers, and breaking into new customers has been tough. So similar solution. But I think some of the exciting stuff was they did get up close within the first year. They're able to increase opportunity influencer through early engagement, expanded customer base for getting after new customers. And something that was pretty helpful there was them being able to showcase successful projects when they're breaking into new customers. And also a lot of engineering firms divide their customers into tier 1, tier 2, tier 3, where tier 1 customers, there's a lot more account management they do with, but tier 2, tier 3, they often don't have enough bandwidth. Citylitics just became another way to have digital eyes and ears on those customers to help their limited seller-doer model sort of really prioritize their time. A few more customer quotes that I'd love to share. in terms of how many opportunities people generate from Citylitics, the visibility they were able to get in terms of the market. Oftentimes, they might hear a rumor about opportunity, and then they see more specific insights on our platform that helps them really go after that opportunity. And then the final fourth one was also just giving sales and business development teams more time back, where they might have been spending hours monitoring city websites or capital plans, and they don't have to do that anymore because we've automated for them, and that gives them time back to spend on customers and future customers. So moving on from case studies to more about action workflows, there's really two ways that we see our customers leverage the data. One is direct reach out, where they directly go and contact the city utility based on information. And so we often, for those customers, we recommend having time blocks, or at least once a month, that every salesperson business development person is reviewing these insights and generating their action plan, leverage the contact information that we've provided, but also leverage the insights from the Citylitics platform to tailor their outreach, and that increases their probability of success. And then we have noticed that our customers that work with external rep firms and channel partners to go to market. And so what we've built for them is an ability to share these insights. So when, let's say, a sales manager reviews some insights, finds an insight that's really interesting, they can share it, and then their rep firm doesn't have to have a Citylitics account. So they can kind of go in, look at it, and help our customer connect with that city. And then it's also obviously important to keep getting feedback back from. But those are the two main things that we see, and that's what we design functionality within our platform, so our customers can save time. And finally, in terms of looking at whether Citylitics is a fit for your organization, usually there's a few different stakeholders involved. There's the individual sales reps or business development managers, and it's important to understand how eager are they to approach prospects 1 to 5 years before RFP. And then usually there's an individual who's managing the sales or business development team, and what is their sales strategy? What type of opportunities are they targeting? And then oftentimes an executive level person who more so defines the go-to-market. So what's their go-to-market strategy, growth strategy? Are they open to investing in this kind of intelligence? And then there's other stakeholders too. Oftentimes there's analysts within our customers that are spending too much time gathering specific time information. And so this becomes a way for them to focus on higher value analysis type tasks. Marketing leaders that are tasked with strategic campaigns, what are their lead gen priorities? How can they leverage the data? And also, oftentimes the CFO gets involved in this decision, and it's important to see how open are they to investing in more sales intelligence. And Citylitics isn't right for every customer in infrastructure. There are certain types of companies that get a lot of value, and then there's certain types of companies that we're not the right fit for. And in general, when you think about the market, there's 4 categories of solutions out there. So there are RFP and bid platforms, and so that's when you're going after a lot of RFPs. You don't have to necessarily influence them. Those are the ideal solution. Contact lists are out there too, when you just the cities you want to go after, or you just want more contact information. Meeting minute scanners exist too, but that's if that's the only source of useful, valuable intelligence, that's a great solution. And then Citylitics is just more, I would say, applicable when there's a critical need to influence RFPs. It's important to be proactive. Sales bandwidth is crunched, and the company itself is looking to do more in terms of expanding their digital and analytics capabilities. So closing, I would say a few things to think about to see if Citylitics is right for you. One is, how mature is the end market? Is it an established market where the buyers or cities, utilities are buying a certain type of product and they're going to continue to do so? Or do you require educating the buyers to know about a new type of service or solution? Because if it's not as established as a market, then Citylitics often becomes a bit more critical to be able to find the buyers to educate early on. And then it's also, what types of projects? Are there specific niche projects that are hard to find, or is it a categorical set of projects that's maybe easier to find? how important is it to influence RFPs? Does it make a difference to the win rate? For some customers, it actually does not, and they can target at the RFP stage. But the ones that really need to pre-position, then it's more important to consider Citylitics. And then finally, is there a sales team in place that can take this data and turn it into sales opportunities? Because without that, then it's just data and an information, but it's not doesn't turn into business value. So those are the 4 things I always recommend thinking about as you consider Citylitics. And that brings me to the end of my session. Appreciate you all taking some time to learn more about Citylitics. Happy to take any questions now or later, whatever is more convenient.
We do have one question, Ahmed. You in the case study, you referenced the company not having a CRM, but does your system connect, or does Citylitics connect to any CRM systems?
Yeah, good question. So our platform connects to any type of CRM. So whether it's Salesforce, HubSpot, even in-house CRMs or custom CRMs, we integrate there, and we have a very quick integration process. But there's also a lot of business development and sales teams in the industry that don't have a CRM or don't use it. They have it, but they don't use it. And they might have internal spreadsheets that they rely on. So in that case, obviously, there's no system for us to connect with. But it's important for us to measure what value we're generating. And so then we recommend them to use the feedback buttons on the platform and regular calls to see what kinds of momentum they've been able to generate from Citylitics insights. But yeah, when they have a spreadsheet, they don't have a CRM, then there's no system to connect to. But then they rely on our system a little bit more as kind of a light CRM in some cases.
Awesome. I do have another question. How granular is our data? So maybe we go back to the demo, but
it gets very granular till whatever is published in public documents. Customers get it down by type of technology, by type of need. I mean, if there's industry specific one, I can give examples, but for example, let's say in wastewater equipment, there's dozens of types of equipment, dozens of types of headwork, screening, secondary treatment, biological treatment, etc. Within transportation, there's so many interesting new technologies. So we get it down very specific, and some of our customers are super specific. Yeah, I'd say it's probably oftentimes the customers say this is the most granular that the solution gets to us to where we need to get to, because we're not a platform that everyone gets access to the same platform. We do configure it to each customer's needs.
Are we seeing any changes in the types of discussions relating to the higher interest rates around infrastructure?
Good question. I can't give it a good answer to that without looking into it more. But one of the, I would say, powerful things about our platform is we can track these discussions and we can track mentions and counts. So there's some blog posts and articles we've also written where we've shown some keyword-based trends to say, hey, this is a topic. Are they talking more about it now, less talking about it now? So this is one of those things we'd have to look into more, but it's a pretty good question. And it's probably on a lot of people's minds. But yeah, unfortunately, I'd have to get back to you on it.
I see a blog coming. That's awesome. Anyone else? Those are the end of the questions that were submitted. Is there anyone else who has a question? You can unmute yourself or ask to speak, or you can type in the chat. Either one. We'll stay here for a few minutes, but otherwise we will send you a copy of this recording. And we thank you for attending today. If you do have any questions, please feel free to send an email to Ahmed, and we'll get someone the expert on our team to reply back.